Hello, welcome to All Things Yin Yoga. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Today we're going to work on toe squat. So in Pilates Strong and Mobile on Tuesday, we looked at mobilizing and strengthening through the ankles. And today we're going to look at stretching out through those ankles. But I want to make this doable for everyone. So I'm going to show a couple of variations. So here's what you will need: a strap, a scarf, off your robe. If you have issues being on your knees, and I'll show you that position. So if you have issues here in this position, even with a blanket underneath your shins, then I want you to make sure that you have a strap or a scarf. Okay, and I'm going to show you the seated variation to toe squat to start. So if when you're sitting down on your mat with your legs forward, you have a lot of this going on, you could use a bolster or use a blanket, a couple cushions off your couch, whatever's feeling good for you, just to get yourself up a little bit higher. And if when you're higher, this causes some issues in the backs of your knees, okay, you could take your blanket, your yoga blocks, and put them underneath your knees, all right? So again, this is the variation to toe squat if you are having a hard time being on your knees, and I'll show the knee option in just a moment. So in this variation of toe squat, you could do both feet or you could do one foot at a time. So I have a loop in my strap. I mean, if you don't have a strap, then you know, you're just wrapping that around the bottom of your foot. So I want to come up into the ball of my foot here. I want to try and run that strap across this part of my foot. Again, this variation that I have, okay, is if you can't be on your knees. So now what I want to do is reach my toes towards my knee. And just, I'm going to press out a little bit with my heels, but I'm just going to gently guide my foot forward. I'm not going to get quite the same sensation that I'm going to get on my knees for a toe squat. However, if you can't be on your knees, this is a great variation. So we'll get a little bit more happening in the calves on this one. But what you're thinking about now is stretching out through the bottom of the foot. And so you could also be here. You could also have no propping at all. But again, this will be a stronger sensation in through the calf. If you want to let your heel grow really heavy on the mat as you're gently guiding the ball of your foot forward, and then what you might notice is that the foot will want to roll out one way or the other. And can you kind of align it a little bit? So big toe, little toe faces you to start, and then let the body start to unwind itself. We're connecting in with that breath. And I find the longer that I'm in this pose, okay, the more sensation or edge that I'll find. So that is the no knee option. And I think that, you know, as we're in our midlife, and you know, sometimes it doesn't always feel good to be on your knees, and so we have to honor that. And so toe squat from your knees looks like this, and I like to take my yoga blocks or books or whatever I'm working with and set them up here, and then I want to curl my toes and press them down into the mat. Sometimes what I find will happen is that my heels will roll in and my big toe side of the foot gets heavier than my baby toe side of the foot. So I want to try to level that out in the beginning. Okay, whether I'm seated or whether I'm here on my knees, whether I'm here on the floor, I want to come into that breath. I like to use Ujjayi breath. So the sound of the ocean on the exhale, but just softer. And then slowly start to bring yourself back. So bring your mind sensation, bring your mind into this sensation that's happening. You're coming into this edge in the foot, possibly the knee, the front of the thigh. Maybe as you're coming, you're walking through on your blocks. Maybe you're coming all the way up. But you're going to think about the toes flexing and pressing into the mat. That's where the work is. This will help stretch out through the bottom of the foot, but also for some of you coming up into the quads or the fronts of the thighs. I've even taken my blocks back behind, grown tall through my arms, and this looks a lot like reclining hero as well, but with that toe squat work, and just staying with your breath, letting your body take the shape, finding stillness, and holding a while. In order to create change in yin tissue, we have to hold for a while. And just breathing here. Just notice what rolls up for you. It's okay to be uncomfortable in yin. It's not okay to cross the threshold into pain. So you be the judge. All right, some of you may have never come off the floor. And that's okay, right? You're just being present in this moment in your body and wherever that looks like for you. So if you've come all the way up, you're going to start to walk yourself forward. And if you're seated, you're going to start to let go of tension on that strap. And then just slowly unwind the feet here. And I find my toes are always really tender when I come out of toe squat. And then I just want to press here. If I was seated, okay, I would just flex and extend. So moving my ankles, toes towards the knee, toes away, all right? And then I could circle my feet here and go in the other direction. And then just shake them out a little bit more. Nice. Great stuff. We ask a lot out of our feet. And in the summertime, we ask even more because we put them into flip-flops and we're running around, Maybe you're not the most stable footwear, and that's okay. But it's nice to take the time to just stretch that out and go deep into the fascia of the feet and stretching out through the toes. And just notice the difference that creates for you when you stand up and start to walk. I want to thank you so much for joining me for All Things Yin. And I hope to see you again soon. Have an incredible day and a great weekend. Thank you so much. Namaste.